Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you're all having a fantastic Thursday afternoon. Hope you're all having a great day. Hope you're having a good afternoon. And I hope you're all looking forward to the first brand new weekend in November 2023. First of all, do me a massive favour for me. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, United Red Devils 20. Share the video. Hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to put that notification bell on at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the last few months in 2023 on the United Red Devils 20 for more Fortnite, Rocket League, Season 12 Porsche. We've got more EA Sports FC 24 content, more previews, more match reactions, and much more brand new stuff planned for the last few months in 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. And yeah, good afternoon to all of you, all you legends and all you legendary people on this community. And welcome to your Premier League preview between Manchester United and Fulham at Craven Cottage on Saturday afternoon on match day 11 of the 23-24 Premier League season, 12:30 afternoon away kickoff for Manchester United, where this game probably could be and might be Erik ten Hag's last game in charge of Manchester United. After that embarrassment last night, going out of the Carabao Cup 3-0 as the defending champions was nothing more than an utter disgrace for Manchester United. This week has been absolutely hell. Losing to Man City and then losing to Newcastle. 6 goals conceded in 2 games, no clean sheet, and no wins from 2. It's simply and utterly not good enough from this Man United team. That team yesterday showed we are in a crisis. If we're being honest, this team is an absolute mess once again. This football club, from top to bottom, is rotten to the core. It is so bad how Manchester United are. It is getting a lot worse and even worse than before. And I can't believe this football club situation they find themselves in. We are basically trying to win games when we're playing shit football. And those players simply don't want to show any fight. They don't want to show any determination. And they don't even want to play for the shirt. They don't want to play for the badge. And basically, all of them showed yesterday they don't give a shit about the fans. They don't give a shit about the supporters. And they don't give a shit about this football club. It is embarrassing. Those players at the moment are coming up with every excuses in a dictionary to get away with poor, embarrassing performances. From my shirt's too tight, my socks are too tight, Erik ten Hag's too ruthless, Erik ten Hag's too brutal. We don't like it that he goes in on us. We don't like it when he criticises us. And these are players that are trying to represent Man United, where our season basically is already over even before this game. The season is already over. Man United ain't going to come back from this poor start. Our worst start since 1962. 8 games out of 15 we've lost and we've only won 7. It's simply and utterly not good enough. And those players, I want to see some kind of response. I want to see some kind of fight. I want to see them go to Fulham and win. Fulham have not had the season I thought Fulham were going to have. I thought losing Mitrovic was a bad thing for Fulham. Honestly, they haven't replaced him. The money they got for him was very good money. And I don't think Fulham are the club they once were under Marco Silva. Away to Craven Cottage, Fulham always seemed to come up with a very good performance against Manchester United at home. They always seem to make Craven Cottage an absolute fortress to play at. And I think it's going to be a tough game. I think Fulham are going to know Man United at the moment are in an absolute mess. They're going to look at that vulnerability. They're going to look at that midfield. They're going to look at that defence. They're going to look at that Man United attack. And they're going to go with a no-die attitude and nothing to fear. They have got nothing to fear playing against Man United. That Man United team does not give you any sign of confidence. It doesn't give you any positivity. And for me, it doesn't give you any kind of atmosphere that Man United team are going to get back to winning ways. The last 2 games has been nothing more than unacceptable. And those players need calling out for what it is. You're a bunch of selfish babies. You're a bunch of spoilt brats. And your egos are ruining this football club. And some of you, at the moment, shouldn't even be in this team. Some of you shouldn't even be at Man United. Some of you should not be at this football club. And some of you shouldn't even be in the first team. And some of you shouldn't even be on this bench. It is utterly embarrassing, the situation we find ourselves in heading into a Premier League win where this is a make or break game. If we fail to win this game, you might as well sack Ten Hag. I am still behind the manager, 110%. But the last 2 games, I'm seeing the same old mistakes, the same old errors, and the same old mistakes from the past continuing to influence themselves into the Man United dressing room, into the Man United squad. And these players have simply thrown in the towel. They've given up. They can't be bothered. And I think for me, if they're not going to be willing to try, Man United need to just jump shift and get an absolute ruthless but brutal rebuild in January. Man United have got to keep winning every game to turn this Premier League season around. The next 6 games, United have got to find something, because at the moment, there seems no energy left in that tank. Those players are not playing as a team, and individually, they're only in it for themselves. And they are. Those players are at this football club because they're in it for themselves. If those players were willing to fight and were willing to go the extra mile, we would have won that game yesterday, and we would have been sat in that quarterfinal draw last night, which we would eventually would have been away to Chelsea, where we would have lost anyway. So at the moment, those Man United players can count themselves very, very hard done by, because you could have been against a winnable Chelsea team in a quarterfinal for Carabao Cup that you won in February in 2023 this year. It's simply unacceptable, and I don't know what's wrong with these players. These players just don't seem to be listening to the manager. They're not listening to what he's trying to do tactically, and the football Ten Hag is trying to influence in this Man United team. These players are refusing to listen. It's like being back at school when you've got all the students shouting and bellowing out in the classroom, and the teacher's trying to get you to be silent, but he can't, and then he summons you all to detention at break time. Honestly, these players need an absolute fucking rocket up their ass now. They need to be put on the line and called in for extra training sessions to get this team fired up, because at the moment, this team is not fired up. This team is like watching a mid-table National League club. Honestly, a National League club could play a lot better than what we are. And it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if we were to lose Saturday. I have lost all confidence in this team. I've lost the confidence of these players. And I don't expect how they're going to turn this around. They've already caused enough of a car crash. The scene is horrific. And unfortunately, that scene is only going to get worse by the crap, unboring football that we are playing. Honestly, the football we are playing at the moment is dreadful. There's no attacking flair. There's no attacking threat. And as for that midfield balance, it's absolutely at 6s and 7s. And as for the back 4, don't even get me started on how bad Maguire and Lindelof were yesterday, letting Willock have a free run on goal and a free shot at goal, and letting it go into Onana's bottom right left-hand corner. Honestly, can anyone trust this football club to turn it around? Because those players, I don't think now want to give a shit. They're only here for their wages. They're only here to get their money. And unfortunately, players like that are not going to get this football club anywhere. And I think at the moment, if I was the manager, I would either resign or be sacked. This is not Ten Hag's fault. And people can blame Erik Ten Hag as much as they want for the mess the football club's in. This mess starts from the top to the bottom of this club. This football club on the moment is in an absolute shithole. It's an absolute USA kitchen nightmares with Gordon Ramsay. It is hell on wheels. Honestly, the situation we find ourselves in as fans and supporters of Man United, watching this absolute bang average Man United spoiled babies perform, it's not acceptable. And the fans and supporters should be refunded for every poor performance that these players are putting in. It's not fair on the fans. It's not fair on the supporters. And look at all the time, the energy, the money and the travel that they all give up to go and watch Man United. And those players, when the going gets tough, United gives up. And I'm going to put that on a T-shirt. I'm going to put it on a slogan. When the going gets tough, Man United give up. Because it's absolutely true. The last 2 games has shown that this Man United side gives up more than ever before. I've never known, especially how we did last season, when you've got won the Carabao Cup, you've got top 4, you've got Champions League football, and you thought without the fired that squad up. Honestly, that fire has burnt away. That fire is gone. That fight in their heart is gone. They don't want to try. They don't want to put effort in. They don't want to go the extra mile. And unfortunately, players like that should not be at this football club. And if Man United are brutal in January, they need a fucking rebuild. Honestly, they are going to have to find something from Fulham to fire them up for the rest of the next 6 games, because I was confident we would win last night. I was confident that we would see a response from that shambles on Sunday. But at the moment, that shambles is getting even worse. The mess we are in is unbelievable. And at the moment, I can't see Man United turning this around. People are fully expecting Man United to go to Fulham and win. At the moment, the way we're playing, I'm not confident this is going to be a home and away banker like everyone thinks it's going to be. I don't think everyone realises that you really think Man United is going to beat Fulham the way we're playing, the way we're performing, the way that squad is performing as a team. There is no energy in that team. The team looks dead. It looks absolutely on its knees, and we're on course to have our worst league season ever. I mean, who would have said that at the start of this season, that Man United are going to have their worst league start to the season ever? They're going to be out of the Champions League, out of the Carabao Cup, and potentially not even having European football at all for next season. If anyone has told me all those three things would have happened, I honestly wouldn't have believed you. But now I can believe you, because I'm not surprised by these players. They're doing what they did to Solskjaer. They're doing what they did to Rangnick, and they're now doing it to Ten Hag. And the problem is, sacking the manager is not the answer. People think sacking Ten Hag is going to solve so many problems. It won't. It will be even more of a mess in the next few weeks if we decide to part ways with Ten Hag. Because Ten Hag actually gets it. He gets what the fans are saying. He gets what the supporters are saying. And he's actually a fighter. There is more fight in Ten Hag than what there is in this whole Man United team. And Ten Hag gets what we want. He understands what we feel. And he actually gives a shit. And the problem is, when he's got a bunch of players that are not listening, not understanding what he's trying to achieve, and not trying to play the football he wants to get out of them, how are you expecting Man United to succeed? That bunch of spoiled little babies need to be sold out. They need to be kicked out this club. Honestly, after what I saw yesterday, I would have sold all that team yesterday. I would have taken all of them off last night and brought all the better players on, because at the moment, those changes backfired yesterday. That's not on the manager. That is down to those players not performing. I'm not surprised Rashford was dropped. I wasn't surprised Bruno Fernandes was dropped. I'm not surprised Hoyland was dropped. I'm not surprised, because I have seen this all before. I've seen this under Mourinho. I've seen this under Solskjaer. I've seen it under Rangnick. I saw it under Van Gaal. I saw it under David Moyes. I am not surprised we are in the mess we're in. I'm not surprised, because these players, honestly, they don't care about the club. They don't care about what they're playing for. They don't care about the badge. They don't care about the shirt they're wearing. Some of those players should feel very privileged to be at Man United at all. Because if I was the manager, I'd be making big calls in January to sell the fucking lot of them. Because at the moment, they're not stepping up. There ain't no leadership. There ain't no captaincy. There are no leaders in that team. That team looks broken. Honestly, that team is not performing as a group of players. Those players are only in it for themselves to get their wage and get their money every week. And it's embarrassing. Honestly, you would have expected a lot better from a bunch of professional men playing a game of football. I mean, even the Man United women's team play better than us. And that says a lot, because there's more passion in the Man United women's team than there is in ours. And they actually win games of football, where Man United's men's team are showing up to be complete and utter useless assholes. Honestly, it's sad. The situation we are in is sad. I would fully expect us to go to Fulham and win and get a response. But the way I'm feeling and the way I'm seeing Man United perform at the moment, how can anyone feel any confidence that Man United side are going to turn things around? This season's already gone. I don't think we'll turn things around. I still think in the next 2 games, we are going to see an amount of defeats that we've never seen in this club's history. And I think if we lose on Saturday, Man United might push a button and trigger Ten Hag's exit. But apparently, if the rumours are true, Man United ain't got the money to sack Ten Hag, because apparently it's going to cost the club 15 million to sack him. And they keep coming up with, sell to buy, financial fair play is still an issue. It's a fucking load of bullshit. And people out there are believing it. It is the biggest myth in football, because all I can say to you is Chelsea. Chelsea don't do it. Liverpool don't do it. Spurs, Arsenal, they don't come up with the excuses that Man United come up with. They come up with excuses because the Glazers don't give a fuck. Richard Arnold and John Murtaugh are severely bad at their job. And they come up with excuses because they know they fucked up. And I said yesterday, if Man United would have got Harry Kane, if they would have got Kim Min-jae and Frankie de Jong and Gatbo and João Felix and Frimpong and Osimhen, look where Man United might be. Look where we might be if we had those type of players in this squad. Man United would be a lot higher up that league table. We might be in a title race, and we might have still been in the Carabao Cup. But I looked at that Man United team and people said, oh, it was such a great summer transfer window. No, it fucking wasn't. That said a lot last night, that transfer window was a joke. Amrabat is not firing. Reguilon looked awful yesterday. Hoyland, there's a lack of confidence. Like, I don't know what is going on inside this club, but something has got to change because I am not sticking up for this team anymore. I will call it for how I see it. If the players are shit and they don't like being called out, I'm sorry. I'm not going to take the person that hides behind the sofa and, don't call these players out. They deserve the shit they get called. They deserve the shit they get put through. They deserve the crap they get called on social media. I'm sorry, they do. They can't keep getting away with the same old boring excuses that they can come up with. I'm sorry, United, but wake up. Like, you're a fucking football club. Like, you are on course to make this season a nightmare for this fan base, and we don't fucking deserve it. It's wrong. It's unacceptable. And you've got no remorse. You don't care about the fans. If you care about the fans, you should be giving them their money back. I'm sorry. At the moment, those fans are the only ones that care about this club. They are. The fans is what makes Manchester United the team they are today. But that team is not the team they are because of the fans. That team is because of those players are letting everyone fucking down. I'm sorry. If they keep performing like that, I would sell the lot in January. I would sell Fernandes. I would sell Rashford. I would sell Martial. I would sell Sancho, Maguire, McTominay, Lindelof, Delo, Onana, Bandia, Mason Mount, Ericsson, Amrabat. I would sell the whole fucking lot. At the moment, that team does not look like, at the moment, they are going to be able to perform for the rest of the season. Those players look like they already have given up. I don't think they're bothered for the rest of the season. I think they already know that, we're not going to be in Europe next season. We're going to go out of the Champions League. We're out of the Carabao Cup. And the only saving grace at the moment is we're still in the FA Cup, even though we're not even in the third round draw yet. I mean, look how embarrassing that sounds. We are still in the FA Cup because the draw for the third round ain't happening until December, January time. I mean, that Man United squad at the moment is just vulnerable in every direction it goes in. We haven't got the options. We haven't got the fitness of the players. And the problem is when you've got a fitness department that's the worst in the Premier League and you've got a squad that is probably the most unfit squad in Premier League history and recruitment that is a complete and utter waste of time, I'm not surprised Ten Hag's under the pressure he's under. I'm not surprised he is because I looked at it from the summer to January of this year. I felt sorry for Ten Hag in every shape or form. Like, when you're getting Jack Butland and Sabitzer in January on loan, I mean, what a fucking joke that is. And then in the summer, you are panicking on deadline day, signing players like Amrabat and Reguilon on loans. I mean, if you had any remorse or any kind of under structure of this football club, they would have signed those players permanently and coughed the fucking money up. Because people actually do believe that Man United are in a financial fair play crisis and sell to buy is a real possibility. It's not. And the problem is fans believe it. I don't. Man United come up with excuses because they know behind the scenes are a complete joke. And the problem is everything behind the scenes from the uncertainty of the ownership, the sell to buy and the financial fair play bollocks, that is surfacing onto the pitch. And even Fabrizio Romano tweeted it the other day. The uncertainty over the ownership is causing the problems on the pitch. I mean, there we go. There is your answer. The uncertainty under the ownership is causing problems. I mean, the players need to switch off from social media, get off their phone, stop fucking playing Candy Crush and actually focus on their own fucking game. Because at the moment, I don't see one player in that team that's fired up. I don't look at that squad and I think, bloody hell, they're performing well. They did great. Look how well they performed. I don't see one player. I mean, people are pinpointing like how great Casemiro was and how great Amrabat was. I mean, I don't know what game people were watching yesterday, but Casemiro was awful. Amrabat was the fault for the third goal, as well as Maguire and Lindelof. And apparently, Casemiro and Amrabat played very well. I mean, I don't know what we're doing in this fan base. I mean, we must be watching fucking Man United games with our eyes shut. I mean, it's embarrassing. They weren't great yesterday. They were fucking awful. I know Amrabat demands and commands the ball, but did he really perform well yesterday? I mean, I don't know what game we're watching. We must be watching games with our eyes shut. I mean, do we need to get Postman Pat to do Man United fans and supporters eye test for them? Because at the moment, I don't see why we're praising these players. I don't see why we're hyping them up because at the moment, there ain't no need for it. There is no need to praise these players. They deserve every bit of shit they get, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, but the truth hurts, Man United. Like, you can't keep performing the way you are. Like, I expect you to respond Saturday and get us this win, but at the moment, I would change that whole team. I would even pick the team that played last night. Honestly, I would change the whole lot. I don't care at the moment if Shaw Malasir ain't fit. I don't care if Ahmad ain't fit. I don't care if Lissandro Martinez ain't fit. I don't care if Varane's out of illness. I'm sorry. Those are excuses just not to play. I'm sorry. You can't keep hiding behind, oh, I'm not feeling great. Oh, this injury I got is really bad. I'm going to have to take some time on the sidelines. I mean, I might as well put all of you on the hospital wing of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, because at the moment, you're not playing because you can't be fucked. Like, you can't keep using injuries and illness as an excuse. I'm sorry. Everyone picks up injuries in life. Everyone picks up illnesses and bugs. I'm sorry. If you're a Man United player, step the fuck up and perform as a player and actually show that you're ready to fight. Because if you're just going to come up with bullshit excuses, you're at the wrong club, I'm afraid. You are at the wrong fucking football club. And I'm not saying Shaw and Malasir are a big miss. Reguilón is 10 times the player they both are. And I think, we are missing Lissandro Martinez. I think if Varane and Martinez were both fit and both available to play, we would see a better defensive-minded game and would see a clean sheet, and we won't be conceding the goals we are conceding. And people say, oh, well, Varane and Martinez, well, they've not exactly been a big hit at Man United. I mean, oh, my God. I mean, yeah, would you rather have them at the back or Harry Maguire and Lindelof? I mean, I think I know what combination I would go with, and it wouldn't be either of those two. So I don't know, what people are trying to pinpoint at Man United, but it's like we are, hyping up and praising the wrong players. Maguire and Lindelof should not be at Man United. And as someone said last night, Diego Dalot should never be playing for Man United again. What an overhyped fucking right back he is. I mean, he was fucking dreadful. And it was at fault for both the 2 goals in the first half. I mean, people think, Diego Dalot is all that and he's the answer for the right back long-term solution. I mean, Aaron Wan-Bissaka did more in that second half than what Diego Dalot did in that first 45 minutes. And he was right to be dropped. Absolutely. He was right to be brought off in that second half because he was absolutely fucking atrocious. I mean, some of these players should never be playing for this club again after last night. Maguire, I don't want to see in a Man United shirt ever again. I don't want to see Lindelof in a Man United shirt or Dalot. I don't want to see Mason Mount play for this club again. I don't want to see Hannibal Mabry play for this club again. I don't want Martial in this team. I don't want Anthony here now. I want Man United to be ruthless to these players and stop coming up with excuses to hide away behind the camera. Because at the moment, these players do not like it if you call them out on social media, if you say this or you say that about them. At the moment, I couldn't really give a fuck if it hurts their feelings. I don't give a fuck. At the moment, I want this team to win. This is about winning. Remember when they used to tell you in school on sports day, oh, everyone's a winner. Everybody gets a sticker. It's not about the winning. It's about the taking part. Biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. Honestly, if you're at a football club and you're playing for a great team like Man United, well, which we used once to be, which we're not now, do you just come to Man United and say, it's about the taking part? Everybody's a winner. Everybody gets a sticker. No, the winner's the winner. I'm sorry. If you want to win, you have to be the best. And on sports day, the teams used to be unfair because you had all the good players on one team and then you had all the shit B-Techs on the other. And if you're on the shit B-Tech team, when you feel you could do more on the better team, that B-Tech team that you're on is going to fuck up and lose. And that affects morale. It affects positivity. And you look at the team sheet and you think to yourself, why the fuck have I got him or them on my team? Like, I'm sorry, but wake up. Like, at Man United, it should be, we need to win. And it's winning every game and it's playing well as a team and responding when the going gets tough, because at the moment, those players aren't responding. When we go 1-0 down, the whole game goes. When we go 2-0 down, the heads drop even more. When we're 3-0 down, the team looks dead. The team does not like to respond when the going gets tough. When we went 1-0 down yesterday, they didn't want to respond. The heads dropped, the morale gone, and the whole game was lost. And it's like, I'm not surprised by it. I am not surprised if Man United go 1-0 down on Saturday. I don't expect a response. I expect for them to go on and win and score even more. And at the moment, I can't trust that back four to do a defensive job. That midfield battle gets ran over every time. And as for the attack, it's absolutely non-existent. Like, that fucking front three yesterday was dreadful. I mean, Garnacho and Reguilón were at fault for the first goal for letting Livramento have a free 40-yard run at Man United's Old Trafford turf and slipping a grateful through ball to Almiron. Almiron scores the goal and gives Newcastle the lead. Those two were at fault for that first goal, as well as Delot's position, just not knowing that Almiron was running through on goal behind him and he didn't even fucking see him. I mean, Diego Dalot might as well have been fucking Casper the Ghost because he was fucking invisible. Like, that front three was dreadful. And, like, we're still sticking up for players that are playing shit. I mean, all this Anthony thing, like, Anthony shouldn't be in this team Saturday. Not after yesterday. I'm sorry. He shouldn't. But at the moment, I think Ten Hag's having to pick him because the Sancho situation isn't helping. I mean, Sancho is throwing his toys out the pram like a little sport, little brat. And he doesn't rate Palestri, I think, which we all need to realise he's fucking crap anyway. Ahmad isn't fit. And Anthony at the moment is the only option at right wing that Ten Hag's got. Based on the last 2 games, Anthony shouldn't even be back playing football. He shouldn't even be playing for Manchester United now. He's had his time. 2 seasons in. And I can change my view. And I can change my opinion. But Anthony at the moment, he shouldn't even be at fucking Man United now. I'm sorry. 85 million down the drain. Anthony is a waste again. I mean, it's just, I can't believe what I'm seeing at the moment from this Man United team. I'm not happy with the squad. I'm just not happy in general with everything going on. Like, when you've got fans like me who have got, you know, depression, anxiety, autism, and they put you through shit, it fucking ruins your day. And it fucks your morale and it fucks up your happiness you had. Because I expected to win yesterday and I expected a kind of response. But for it to get even worse, it was a fucking wake-up call. It really was. It was a wake-up call yesterday. And I'm not surprised we're in the mess we're in. Like, that team, it can't pick itself now. Like, I wouldn't be comfortable even picking a team for Saturday. I wouldn't feel comfortable because, you know, we ain't got Martinez for Saturday. We might not even have Varane, so it might be fucking Maguire and Lindelof again. I mean, we're basically picking the same team. Like, it sucks. Like, they shouldn't even be at Man United as a whole. Like, everyone thinks Lindelof is such a great centre-back and does such a good job next to Maguire. I mean, I don't know what game you're watching. They were at fault for, like, the 3rd goal. Just letting Willock run at them, not even defending, and, you know, Gordon shuffles Maguire out the way. I mean, you might as well have Gordon, the fucking train from Thomas the Tank Engine, fucking marking Maguire. Because at the moment, Gordon from Thomas could do a fucking lot better than fucking Maguire. Honestly, it's embarrassing. Like, the back 4 at the moment, sorry, but Maguire needs to be shifted out. So does Lindelof. I mean, if we haven't got Varane, what would you do with the back 4? Well, you ain't got Martinez. If you don't want Varane and Maguire and Lindelof there, who have you got? Well, we've got Johnny Evans. Like, it doesn't give you any confidence until you've got Johnny Evans. It's even worse. You shouldn't be putting up with this. We should not be putting up with these players. Like, enough's enough now. They need to be sold in January. Like, United are going to have to spend some money, and they're going to have to find it. You know, they're going to have to find some money in January to improve this squad because I fully believe at the moment this squad is not good enough to go till May next year to finish this season. I'm sorry, it's not. We will not finish the season well if we go with this squad for till May. We won't finish anywhere. We might not even get top 10 in the league. I mean, Nottingham Forest are closing in on us. Fulham are closing in. Bournemouth are closing in. I mean, don't rule out Luton. Like, it's shocking. Like, you've got teams we are trying to keep ourselves in front of, but are now catching us. And it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. It doesn't. Like, the football we're playing is abysmal. But I think Ten Hag is going to have a massive rethink about the formation we're playing. I think we need to go back to a traditional 4-3-3, or maybe play a 4-4-2, but a diamond midfield. You know, play Amrabat at CDM, play Ericsson next to Mount and Fernandes down the middle as a centre attacking midfielder, and then have Rashford and Højlund down the middle. But even at the moment, I wouldn't trust that team with that selection. Like, Mason Mount shouldn't even be at this fucking football club. I mean, another abysmal performance yesterday, 1 decent shot on goal, and has done fuck all since he's been here. Given the number 7 shirt, I looked how that's worked out. It's not worked out at all well. It hasn't. It's a shambles. Mason Mount has been a dreadful signing. I'm sorry. That is on Ten Hag for wanting him. They could have got James Maddison and maybe Gravenberch for 60 odd million instead of just buying it on one midfielder. And then, Hannibal Mabry yesterday, I mean, how that guy even plays for this club. If he plays again on Saturday, I'm going to start losing my shit because everybody hypes up Hannibal Mabry thinking he's world class and he's going to take his game up to the next level. I mean, he's luckily he hasn't caused severe injury to half those players yesterday. I mean, the yellow card for the tackle he puts in on Sean Longstaff is disgusting. Like, he is going to cause a player a serious injury with the more tackles he makes. I mean, at the moment, you got to think to yourself, he's already on a yellow card. And at the moment, if he gets himself sent off, we're down to 10 men yesterday. That did not help because Hannibal Mabry was costing that midfield balance. He isn't hyped up. He's absolutely shit. And if he's given a new contract, I give up. Honestly, if they give Hannibal Mabry a new contract and he plays again on Saturday, I give up with this fucking club. I honestly would give up trying because they're not listening. He is no good. One good goal and everyone gets on the hype train. I mean, you might as well get on the bloody Sodor Express from the land of Ireland of Sodor, because at the moment Hannibal Mabry is not good enough. I'm sorry, he's not ready, and he's never going to be ready. He should not be playing for Manchester United ever again after yesterday. And I think that is where the game is going wrong. I think Ten Hag sees something in Hannibal, but I think Ten Hag, yesterday was pretty naive not to bring him straight off yesterday when he picked that yellow card up. I mean, to make 3 or 4 bad tackles after that, when you're on a yellow card, you are risking getting sent off. And that would have cost United even more because Newcastle would have scored even more yesterday if Hannibal was gone. Because then you're relying on Casemiro and then a B-Tech, Nemanja Matic and Mason Mount to bring that midfield in before the end of the game to keep the midfield balance. You lose a midfielder, United are fucking getting steamrolled. Like Hannibal Mabry, I don't want to see ever playing for this club ever again. He's absolutely wank. Honestly, he's absolutely shit. I mean, the substitution of Casemiro, we've now got clarification. He's gone out injured again. I mean, he's been back for 1 game and he's out injured again. I mean, the fucking injuries we are picking up. Clearly, Casemiro was not fit to play yesterday. Clearly, he wasn't ready to be back in the squad. And clearly, that injury he picked up playing for Brazil on the international break in October has fucked his season over. Honestly, Casemiro was not great yesterday. I'm sorry. He wasn't. He wasn't a leader. He may have that captain's armband on him, but did anyone see a good performance? Because I didn't. Like, I'm not seeing anything from him at the moment. Like, we haven't even got him available now, so it's even more worse than what we are now. We haven't got the best CDM in the league available for Saturday due to another injury he's picked up, and that is why the half-time substitution was made. I mean, whatever injury he's got, I'm praying that don't keep him out for a while because we fucking need every player back we've missed. We need Ahmad back. We do need Martinez back. We do need Shaw and Malacia, even though they're both shit anyway. But now we need Casemiro back ASAP. I mean, if that injury's bad, we are going to have to resist seeing Amrabat and Mason Mount playing the same team. I mean, I felt sorry for Eriksen yesterday as well. I think Eriksen needs to come back into this team. I don't know why Man United had to break up the midfield 3 we had last season because it worked magnificently. Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, it worked like a treat last season. And all of a sudden, as soon as Amrabat and Mason Mount's been brought into the equation, it is unbalanced everything more than a fucking turntable. Like, honestly, it is so unbalanced. And now you've lost Casemiro to another injury. I don't know where Man United go from here from the midfield because I don't want Mason Mount playing it again in a United shirt. He shouldn't even be. We should have never brought him. I don't want to see him playing against Fulham Saturday because it ain't fair now. Like, we need to be playing players based on their tempo levels and the levels they're trying to reach. Because at the moment, I wouldn't trust Man United to reach for the stars. The S Club 7 song, honestly, I wouldn't trust them to reach for the stars because There is no performance left in that team that is going to get you off your feet. And losing Casemiro is a blow. It's a massive, massive blow. But, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if we see Mason Mount play. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. I wouldn't use McTominay because he's useless anyway. I think you're going to have to use Amrabat again, and hopefully he can produce a better performance than what we saw last night. It's probably, unfortunately, going to end up being Mason Mount and Fernandes, but maybe try Eriksen with Fernandes and Amrabat because that's not been used yet, and I don't know why we've not done it, but clearly Ten Hag sees something in Mason Mount that clearly we don't, and he probably thinks he's better than Eriksen. I mean, Eriksen didn't even play yesterday. I mean, that says a lot. He clearly isn't wanted now. Clearly seen that very quickly after we signed him. I mean, in the last few games, Eriksen's not even played for the club. I mean, it's unfair. He's probably one of our best players in the midfield, and he can make something happen. And he reminds me of Juan Mata when he was at the club. I mean, Mata did do good stuff for this football club, but since Juan Mata's gone and we brought Eriksen in, like Eriksen has not been given the opportunity to prove himself. I don't want to see Eriksen go, but if Mason Mount is getting favoured over Eriksen, there's something quite clearly wrong there. So I would maybe try something different in midfield, maybe play a 4-4-2 with a diamond midfield and see if that works. But it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest that, you know, we are seeing Ten Hag again today sticking up for the front three again. I mean, he's still sticking up for Anthony, and apparently the players are not playing the balls or the passes that Anthony needs to bring the best out of his game. Anthony has not been right since he's been back in the squad. Like, the allegations and the accusations he's faced and he was brought back in has not worked. It's not worked. And unfortunately, at the moment, I ain't surprised. I'm not surprised. And I feel sorry for Man United because that we thought Anthony was the right wing solution for the future. And when you've spent 85 million on him, it doesn't look very good. And at the moment, it looks like a horrific signing. And at the moment, I don't expect him to turn it around. I would personally drop him Saturday. But at the moment, we ain't got no right wing option. We know Ten Hag doesn't want Pellistri. He clearly don't think he's good enough, and clearly don't think he's ready to be playing first team football. I mean, Pellistri has not even played any football for the last 5 games because he didn't play against Brentford. He didn't play against Sheffield United. He didn't play against FC Copenhagen. He didn't play against Man City. And he didn't play against Newcastle. So clearly, there is something there with Pellistri that Ten Hag does not rate. And I see that. I don't rate Pellistri. I don't think he's ever been good enough. And I think for me, the best solution for Pellistri and for all parties is to sell him and let him go in January and see what he can do. Because at the moment, I think the Man United move has been a bad mistake for his career because it hasn't worked out at all. And I think for me, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. But this is Man United for you. It's shocking, isn't it, really, that we've got players that shouldn't be at this club. Especially when the front three's lacking goals. I mean, I think Højlund is going to have to come back in. I think benching him yesterday was a bad mistake. Højlund really should be playing every game up front for United because we are literally relying on the 20-year-old striker to score the goals he scored. I mean, did he score against Brentford? No. Did he score against Sheffield United? No. Did he score against FC Copenhagen or Man City or Newcastle? No. The pressure on that young guy's shoulders is unfair. And I feel sorry for Rasmus. For me at the moment, I have to stand by him. He's my favourite player now because at the moment he is showing a lot more than some of those United players are. And you've actually got a player that is a fan of the club, loves Manchester United and wants to achieve success. And without Rasmus Højlund in that team, United ain't got no attacking power. But he needs to start finding a Premier League goal. I mean, he's not scored one Premier League goal this season. Every goal he scored has been in the Champions League. And at the moment, it says a lot. It says an awful lot that United needed another world-class striker as well as Rasmus. And we didn't do it. And look where Man United are now. We're relying on an injury-prone Martial that Ten Hag doesn't even want. And even yesterday, what did Martial do for that whole game? Did basically fuck all. And, you know, Garnacho, who thinks he's fucking Superman and thinks he's the next Cristiano Ronaldo, like, wake up, mate, you're not. And you've got Marcus Rashford, who keeps opening his legs up for every girl going and goes out clubbing and drinking till 3 a.m. the next morning after the Manchester derby defeat to City last weekend. I mean, Marcus Rashford should never be playing for this club again. Like, I would be, if that was me and someone told me, do you want to go out clubbing or go out partying till 3 a.m. the next morning, but you've got to be in training by 9. I think football's got to come first. I know it's his birthday, but like, come on, Marcus. Like, since you broke up with your girlfriend, you've gone from one girl to the other. I mean, have a bit of fucking respect. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. You need to treat women with respect. Like, you need to stop thinking about yourself for once and get back to the Rashford we saw last season, because it's unacceptable. It really fucking is. Like, going out clubbing till 3 a.m. and drinking and like till 3 a.m. I mean, like, wake up, mate. You're playing for fucking Man United. Like, even when we brought him on yesterday, did he do anything? He got one decent move into the box and then lost the ball. That is because of the partying in the nightclub and in the drinking. Like, it's sad. Like, these are homegrown players that are playing for Man United, and they're not performing and they're going out doing stupid things. Like, if that was me, I'd be putting my football career first ahead of birthdays and nightclubbing and drinking. I'm never going to go nightclubbing. I don't drink because I'm not that type of person. So don't anyone ever try to force me to do that, because that is not the type of vibe I like. I like to go and watch football. I like to go bowling and stuff like that, and go and watch films, go to the cinema and stuff like that. I'm not a fucking footballer who's going to go out partying and trying to get laid every night. I mean, fucking hell. If Marcus Rashford has got the attitude like that, we are in a bad situation. I would personally tear his contract up for that. Like, that is unacceptable. Going nightclubbing 3 a.m. till 3 a.m. after the Manchester derby defeat, and then he's got training at 9 a.m. I mean, he must have hardly had any sleep, because he would have had been up by 6 or 7 or even 8 just to get to training. Like, he shouldn't be playing Saturday. I wouldn't. I would stick with Garnacho and lay down the law to Rashford that this is unacceptable and you've got to change, mate. Because at the moment, what you're doing, you are putting your football career on the line, matey. Because at the moment, you're crap. And he is crap. Marcus Rashford has gone back to being Marcus Trashford. And he does deserve to be called Trashford. He's crap. I said this about Rashford. He is massively overhyped. One good season. Oh, he's back to his best. Look at Rashford now. He's such a great player. Yeah, he really is, isn't he, when he has scored 1 goal in 15 games. It says a lot. But it wouldn't surprise me if Ten Hag puts him back in. But you never know with Ten Hag. He might change that whole squad. He might stick with the squad that played yesterday night. And I think the back four probably will keep their place. It will be Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof and Reguilon. I think Amrabat will stick in at CDM because we got no Casemiro. I would bring Fernandes straight back in. I would be dropping Mount for Eriksen because Mount ain't any good. I would be sticking with Garnacho ahead of Rashford. Højlund comes back in down the middle for an injury-prone crap Martial. And on the right, if Ahmad is fit for Saturday, I would play Ahmad. Seriously. If Amad Diallo is back and available for Saturday and he is ready to play, put him in this United team and put him on that right wing and show to Anthony what he can do. Because Ahmad is a big potential world-class player waiting to take the world by storm. You saw what he did for Sunderland last season in the Championship. And I think for me, we need that type of player in this squad because it will show to Anthony what he's missing. Because Anthony shouldn't be in the squad. And I think for me, what this lineup I said then, Onana in goal as well, that would be my team. But I think Rashford's probably going to come back in. I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks with Mount after one decent shot on goal. But, I would be laying down the law to Fernandes as well. You need to start throwing your toys out the pram. You're captain of this club. You need to stop moaning all the time. You need to stop acting like a spoiled little brat. And you need to start showing your leadership as a captain in this club because every decision that doesn't go Bruno Fernandes' way, he throws his toys out the pram. And it's really sad. It really, really is sad. So, for me, the team, Onana, unfortunately, Dalot, Maguire and Lindelof. Only if Varane's fit, drop Maguire. Reguilon, I think we need to give him another chance. For me, the midfield, obviously got no Casemiro, so for me, it would be Amrabat, Eriksen, Fernandes. Front three, drop Rashford. Still continue with Garnacho. Hoyland down the middle, Ahmad on the right. That would be my team for Saturday. For me, I think we can try and win this game. Hopefully we'll see a response. Hopefully we'll get 3 points. Hopefully it'll be a win. And I'm going to go for 2 or 3-0 United because I don't think Fulham are the team they were under Marco Silva last season. So let's wait and see. So I enjoyed this preview. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, United Red Devils 20. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. And remember to put that notification bell on all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the last few months in 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. For more Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 4 Last Resort, Rocket League Season 12 Porsche, more EA Sports FC 24 content coming up for the rest of this week as well. We've got more previews, more match reactions, and then obviously, please join me for the match reactions Saturday afternoon between Fulham and Manchester United straight after the final whistle. Hopefully, this Man United team can get back to winning ways. Hopefully, we can go away to Fulham and get back to winning ways in the league. Hopefully, get 3 points, and hopefully, we'll see a response from these players. But the way I'm feeling at the moment, I don't trust them. But all I can see is wait and see what happens. If they lose again, this could be the last game of Erik ten Hag's manager or career as Man United manager. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday afternoon. Stay safe, be nice, be kind to each other. You're all legends. You're all legendary. And I'll see you on the next one.